Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I look a little bit bummy today. I just got out of the shower and I wanted to grab something to eat and record this video before I get ready to go out for a little bit today. Happy New Year's Eve. I can't believe it is about to be 2023. But so I just wanted to talk about some of the books that I read in the month of December. I'm still in a reading rut, guys. But I am slowly coming out of it. I can feel myself coming out of it. I think 2023 is going to be the year. I'm really hoping that I get back into reading. There are quite a few books that I got for Christmas that I'm so excited to read. But anyway, let's just get right into it. I didn't have the greatest reading month this month, I guess. Um, I read 3 books and I listened to 3 books. So I guess I read 6 books technically. But not all of them were good. Actually, only 2 of them were really bad. But anywho, um, so the first book that I finished at the beginning of the month was Tell Me Lies by Carola Lovering, I think is how you say her last name. And this book is basically about this girl. Her name is Lucy Albright. She goes off to college and um she meets the love of her life, but he's an asshole essentially. And it's just kind of going through their romance together and like going through college. And so that's in the past chapters, and then in the future chapters her friend from college is getting married and they're at the wedding and she sees Steven again. um I gave this book 2 stars. um it was very slow. It was very character driven, but none of the characters are likable. I don't want to say none of the characters are likable, but I just like I don't know what it was. I just couldn't relate to it. I kind of just wanted to finish it to be done with it. It took me forever to get through. I think I had been reading it for like 3 weeks. I needed it to be over. I think I would have liked it more if we would have gotten more chapters with them at the wedding in the present chapters instead of us going through her journey of like getting drunk and like doing drug and like all this other stuff. I don't know. I didn't really like it that much, and oddly enough, I watched the TV show on Hulu after I finished the book, and I didn't like that show. I didn't like the show either. I thought that first of all, they completely took out a whole character, and the show was just boring. Lucy was kind of terrible, and I don't know. I think the ending was good because I think they set it up for a second season very well, but I don't know. I didn't really like the book. I didn't really like the show. It's just not my thing, but I've heard a lot of people like this book. So I don't want to say that I don't recommend it. It just wasn't the book or the show for me. Um, and then I kind of got into audiobooks a little bit this month, which I think that 2023 is also going to be the year of audiobooks because I've really come to find that I really do like audiobooks. I was into them a couple of years ago, but kind of got away from them. Um, because I noticed that when I listen to them, I mainly only listen to audiobooks in the car, but when I'm driving in the car, my mind kind of wanders, so I'm not really paying attention. But then I started doing tandem reads where I listen to it and also read it, and I'm paying attention to it, I'm following what's going on, and so I found that that really worked for me. So I think that that's really going to be like I think what I do in the year of 2023. But anyway, so the first book, this is a trilogy. It's called the Dead Remaining series. There are 3, obviously it's a trilogy. There are 3 books in the series. The first book is Forgotten Bones, Hidden Bones and Campus Bones by Vivian Bars, and this is kind of what they look like. They are on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if you can see that very well. I had to return them to get new books, but anyway, um I really liked it. So, the first book, you're kind of going back and forth between this detective. Her name is Susan Marlin, and Eric. I actually don't remember what Eric's last name is. I'm a terrible person. But anyway, Susan is in, so this is in Forgotten Bones. Susan is investigating um this killer gets out of prison. I think he was like molesting children and killing children, gets out of prison, and then he goes missing. She's investigating that. And then Eric starts having visions. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. So if it is, please skip ahead. Don't listen to this. I didn't read the synopsis of the book, so I don't know what's a spoiler and what isn't. But please skip ahead if you don't want any spoilers. But Eric starts seeing visions of this boy, um, which is one of the bodies that Susan and her team dug up. She calls him Overalls Boy, and Eric has schizophrenia. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm really sorry about this, but sometimes it's like hard for me to describe what books are about. But anyway, Eric has schizophrenia and he starts having visions once he moves to this town after his wife leaves him, and he keeps seeing this little boy in overalls, and then he starts seeing more children and more children and more children, and him and Susan somehow they meet in a bar, they come together, and he ends up telling her that he's seeing Overalls Boy, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is the little boy that like we dug up on this property." And so they end up solving the crime or whatever. But the whole point of me going through all of that is Eric is seeing visions. So in the second book, Hidden Bones, they go on vacation to this other city where it's like a I don't know if this is a spoiler either, but in this city it's Clancy. It's called Clancy, and it's like a drug cartel kind of like they to get drugs from the US to Canada, they go through this town because there's no like checkpoints or anything like that, so it's easy for them to get through. And a lot of people end up like they just kill people off who find like their layer of all of their drugs. And so like Eric starts having visions, and so that's that. And then Campus Bones is about this girl who ends up dead. They blame it on her ex-boyfriend, and it's just a whole thing. Actually, in the third book, so I gave the first two books 4 stars. I think I actually gave the third book 4 stars too, but I'm kind of thinking about changing that to 3 stars because Eric only has one vision in that book, I think. And the whole point is that he's having these visions, like he's seeing these dead people. And so I don't really know. It is a really good series. Like I said, I listened to it. It's easy to follow. I started doing the tandem reads with it, so I really enjoyed them. I do recommend them. They're just like quick, easy reads. Not a big deal. And they're also on Kindle Unlimited, and you can get them for free on Audible too if you download them on Kindle Unlimited. Um, and then the next book that I read was I listened to Forgotten Bones, finished that, and then I started reading Final Girls by Riley Sager, which if you guys have watched my videos from a couple months ago, I picked this book out of my TBR jar, and I finally got around to reading it, and I think I gave it 4.5 stars. I really, really, really liked it. I think the beginning was very slow for me, but I I think Riley Sager is known for putting the biggest plot twist that you never see coming in his books. And when I tell you I never saw this coming, I literally never saw this coming. So, the synopsis of this book is so a final girl is when there is a mass murder, it's the last girl to live. Like Sydney Prescott in Scream is a final girl. But anyway, I actually don't even remember her name. So Quincy Carpenter was a final girl, and then there's also two other final girls. I think her name is Lisa, and then Sam. Lisa ends up dead, and so Sam comes to find Quincy, and it's just kind of them trying to figure out what happened to Lisa. And like the beginning was slow because they're trying to like build it up, and it's a little bit slow, but then the ending, oh my, like there are it's like so many plot twists. I loved it so much. It would have been a 5 stars if the beginning wasn't so slow. And you're kind of going back and forth. So Quincy went on, I think, spring break to a cabin with her friends in college, and when the mass murder happened, and then she can't remember anything. So you do get some chapters from the time at Pine Cottage, which is what they call like where they were at when the murders took place. And it's just kind of interesting to go through those chapters to see what really happened because she can't remember what happened. And then she starts seeing like little flashbacks and stuff like that. I highly recommend it. It was very, very, very good. I liked it so much. Um, and then, like I said, then I listened to Hidden Bones. And then in the meantime, I borrowed this from my library on my Libby app. It's Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I had to tell you guys, I finished it literally last night. I did not like this book. I gave it 3 stars only because I kind of related to one of the characters at the end of the book. But I did not like it. I almost DNF'd it 50% of the way through. But I was 50% of the way through. I'm already committed. I might as well finish it. So I stayed up late last night and I finished it because I could not take this book into the new year with me. I just didn't really like it that much. And this is about a girl that ends up first she goes missing, but then they find her body in the lake. This is not a spoiler. Um, she's a middle child in her family, and they're just kind of trying to figure out what happened to her. And the reason I did not like this book is because the first thing I did not like about this book is it's in third person, and I don't mind third person. But when you're switching between, when each paragraph is switching between characters, but you don't know who's like the point of view that you're in, like it was so confusing. There honestly is not that much dialogue in it either. Like it was just very hard for me to like follow. And also, you're kind of going in the beginning of the book through her parents like meeting and getting married and having kids and like all this stuff, and it just went on and on and on and on. The first half of the book, you pretty much know nothing about Lydia, who is the girl who died, until the second half of the book, which is why I liked it, because I kind of could relate to her a little bit. um but yeah, that's why I gave it 3 stars, mostly because I just could relate to Lydia just a little bit. But I really did not like this book. I wouldn't recommend it. I really hope that her other books are a little bit better, because I do have Our Missing Hearts on hold on my Libby app through my library, so I'm really hoping that that one is better. But I did not like this book. I did not connect with it at all. I would not recommend it. It's a short book. It's not even 300 pages, but it literally felt like I was reading a 700-page book. Like it just went on and on and on, and I don't know. But I finally finished it last night. And then I finished Campus Bones. I finished listening to Campus Bones this morning. So that was the last book. So those are the 6 books that I read in December. I feel like I have just went off on a really long tangent because I didn't have a good reading month this month, like I said. Like it just, I wasn't really connecting. I didn't read anything that was like outstanding. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but like I said, I'm out of my reading slump. I'm hoping January I read some really good books. Um, I'm gonna be posting my January TBR video probably next week. I'm super excited for that because I actually have books that I picked out that I really want to read. I got a new bookshelf for Christmas, so I'm gonna do my bookshelf tour. All of that stuff is coming. I got a TBR cart, so all of these videos, all of these exciting things are coming in the month of January, in February. So just keep an eye out for those. But that is my December monthly wrap up. Let me know in the comments if you guys read these books, if you liked them, what your thoughts were. Um, because reading is subjective and you might disagree with me. I don't know. But that is just my thoughts on these. I hope you guys have a happy and safe New Year's, and I will see you guys next year in my next video.